on a walk with my dog right now, and today I want to talk with you about moving to south of France after living in Paris. So for those who are new on this channel, I spent 4 years in Paris doing my bachelor degree in the Sorbonne University. I did a Bachelor of Art History, and my apartment lease in Paris actually ended the same time as my bachelor degree ended. So when I was finished with my studies, I had two options. Either I would have to search for an apartment, and I had to do it pretty urgently and pretty fast. Either I would move out and just bring all the stuff back to my parents and just travel the world. And I've decided to take the second option. I took all my stuff from Paris. I took it back to Riga, to Latvia, to my family house, and I've lived in different countries for around 2 years. I've traveled to Spain, to New York, lived in Riga for a few months, then I lived in Vienna, and then I came back to Paris twice and rented, actually I didn't rent, but I sublet the apartment from other people for like 3 and 4 months. So the past 2 years I've been exploring the world, I've been living in different countries, and in December I had this feeling that I want to stop subletting apartments and just rent an apartment for some time. And at that time in December, me and my boyfriend, we've been living in Vienna, and so we had a few options. Either we would rent an apartment in Vienna, either we would go to Paris and rent an apartment in Paris, so we would have to go and stay at our friend's place and search for apartments. And if you know something about France, then you probably know how hard it is to find an apartment here and how to not just find it, but to rent it, because you need a lot of papers to do that. And we had a third option, which was unknown. And prior to that, maybe a month before, my boyfriend went to Cannes for work. So he rented an Airbnb and spent around 2 weeks exploring the French Riviera. And he really liked it here. And he told me that, oh, it would be nice one day to live for some time in the south of France. I've actually never thought about this. Like, I never had an idea about living on the south of France. You know, for me, France was always about Paris. I've been to Paris, I've been to Normandy, I've been to Bretagne. Yes, I traveled a bit, but I never really considered an option living in France, but not in Paris. Back to my story, we've been living in Vienna, and my boyfriend came to Vienna from Cannes. And then we thought, okay, Devi, my boyfriend, he really liked the apartment he stayed in Cannes, but he rented it on Airbnb, and it was pretty expensive if you would rent it for a month on Airbnb. And so what he did, he texted the lady from who he rented the apartment in November. Obviously he had her personal number, so he didn't text her through Airbnb app, he texted her through WhatsApp and asked if she would be interested in renting us the apartment for a few months. And what she did, she replied to us, yes, come, and we arranged a good price with her. And this is how we decided that we're going to spend winter and spring in Cannes. And I thought it's a really good idea, because in Vienna it was freezingly cold, it was also cold in Paris, and I really liked the thought of living in a warm place for a few months. So we've spent here 4 months already, and we are still in Cannes. So we liked it here so much that we actually decided to stay for longer. So we're gonna stay here for the summer, and we're gonna explore the region. And what I absolutely love about this region is its diversity. Like, you have Alps, you have sea, you have a lot of different small villages which are like museums themselves, and they're all very different, and you can basically explore this region for ages. Like, the places I've been to, they're very beautiful.
Nothing like your smile in the morning, following the linings on your cheeks. 'Cause baby, in your absence life is boring, so I'll never leave. It's easier to love when it's you by my side.
One of the most beautiful places in Côte d'Azur is definitely Tête de Chien, which is a big hill located between France and Monaco. And so here is Monaco, and from another side it's France. And we are actually in France right now.
Like the way that you adore me, I can feel love from miles away. And the light in your eyes tells me stories of life in a perfect place where I wanna stay.
love how every house here has its own name. So, where I like it more? It's a tough question for me because I consider that Paris is the most beautiful city on earth. But at the same time, it depends on what you're doing in life. Because, for example, if you're a student, if you're an active social person who likes partying and who likes all of this soirée and all that stuff, or if you're building a career, of course, it's better to be in Paris because obviously we have more opportunities in the capital and it's a huge city. But if you're like me, if you're self-employed, if you're working a lot from home, and if you enjoy being closer to the nature, then of course south of France is a great place to be. And not only Cannes, where I live at the moment, but also Nice. It's quite a big city as well, so you could be somewhere in the middle, you know, not in Paris and not in a village. So life here is also quite expensive. So I wouldn't say it is much cheaper than Paris, but you get a slightly bigger apartment, like maybe plus 5 square meters, and you get a balcony. So I have a huge balcony where I keep my bicycle that I bought to move around the city. I'm having breakfast on the balcony, I'm waking up and hearing the birds singing. I board during the day, and then in the evenings I put my swimming suit and just go swimming because I live 5 minutes away from the sea. So this is something I really like about living on the south of France, and although I miss Paris very much and I miss all of my friends that live there, I know it's probably a period of life because I am definitely going to move back to the city in the following years. I want to continue my studies and I want to do a master's degree, so I will definitely come back to the city one day. But for now, I'm really enjoying living in a village, although Cannes is not really a village. The Festival de Cannes just ended yesterday and the city was a big party. It was like a big club. All of the main street, the Croisette, like everybody was partying. And also it's really different from the winter, because in the winter it was mostly elderly people here and it was really quiet and many places were completely closed and shut down, you know, like cafes were closed, restaurants were closed. And in the end of spring, places gradually started to open and people gradually started coming back. Please tell me in the comments below, what would you choose if you had to choose? Living in Paris or living in south of France? What would be your choice? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video if you liked it, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.